Hello everyone, it's Rev Deanna Cox here with DKR United and our midweek reflection. Oh my goodness, can you believe we're like over halfway through January now? It's amazing how fast time is flying. I apologize if you log in live with us. I'm a little late. I was setting this up on a different device, and so it took a little bit to get it all set up. Today we are talking about 3-in-1. Can you guess what it is? It is the complex idea of Trinity. God 3-in-1. Now this topic has baffled even the greatest scholars in how to explain this without committing blasphemy, without totally confusing people, and without like maintaining the integrity. And so I'm gonna try, and I make no promises. And basically the idea isn't, my philosophy isn't about being so technically accurate. It is more about helping us gain a layman's understanding of this so that we can function with an everyday understanding. Because our worship series that we are doing right now is called Everyday Faith. And so that is what we're attempting to do, is to have some sort of understanding of the Trinity, God 3-in-1, that we can use every day. So you might have seen, it's often in Celtic, like a Trinity, like interlocking circles. So if you can think or Google an image like that, that might help you understand what we're talking about. And there's lots of funny videos. I can put a link to one or two in the description, or share them on our Facebook page this week. And the idea is that God is, in my mind, kind of so complex, and to try and understand and comprehend, that humanity over time has kind of developed these different ways of experiencing and understanding God. Through God, through Jesus, and through the Holy Spirit. They are all iterations of God. So they are 3-in-1. They're not the same, but they're not totally separate either. So they can't exist, one sort of can't exist without the other, so to speak. So, for example, Jesus. We think of Jesus often. We hear so many stories of his ministry in our biblical text. And so we kind of come to think of him potentially as like a standalone person. But he's not. He is God's son. He is God made flesh to dwell among us. You might have heard that too, especially because we've just come out of Christmas and the stories of the birth of Jesus, and we talk about, God coming and dwelling among us. Jesus. So Jesus is God, but not completely complex. And then when we hear the story, as we progress through the stories of Jesus' ministry, as we get closer and closer to Easter, we hear stories about how Jesus is preparing the disciples for his pending death. And he tells them that he will not leave them alone, that the Spirit, one will be coming who will dwell with them always. So we have the Spirit, Jesus, the Spirit, God. Yeah. So can you start to see how it works? The other way that you can kind of think of it is that like I said, there are different ways of knowing God. And seeing as this series is helping us get to know our faith, and so that we can talk about it to others and share our light with the world, it is a good time to think about how we have come to our faith. Some may have come through, have had an experience of God in some way that has drawn them to faith. Maybe God creator, or our God through the forgiveness, the redeemer part of it. And some maybe have come to faith through Jesus, through his ministry, like through that kind of on the ground justice seeking, healing, maybe through healing, through stories, through his feeding the people. So sometimes if people have come through Jesus, they're in kind of like mission orientated kind of mode and in the doing of the ministry, and very human interactions, if you will. And some have come to their faith through the movement of the Holy Spirit. It's a mystery, like the maybe speaking in tongues, or something that has moved them beyond explanation, that has called them to their faith. And so if you want to think about, if there is one, maybe it's all three, maybe it's three in one, that have inspired you to come to your faith, or if you're someone like me who was kind of raised coming to church, and so it's a familiar routine that you just kept doing, think about which of the three speak to you the most and have shaped your faith maybe in some way. Because I would suspect that there might be one more than the other. Not necessarily, but there might be. And so as you reflect on that might help you understand the relationship between the three. And that's what we're going to talk about with the Trinity, the relationship piece, that it's how God, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit work together to shape our faith, and how those work in us, in our relationship with the Holy, and how they work in how we talk to people about it. You can see where you might use one or the other to talk to to help talk to a person about it, depending on what kind of attributes they're resonating with. Just like how we relate to people differently depending on the different roles that we're playing. For example, Deanna, the minister, is a little bit different than Deanna, the mother, which is a little bit different than Deanna, the wife, or Deanna, the friend. And so it's those relationships in how we be with each other, in how we name each other, and they'll help. Understanding those things will help us express our faith in those different situations. So I hope that has been some few nuggets of thought. It has sort of helped me think through a little bit of what Sunday might look like. I'm excited and just a wee bit anxious because this Sunday, DKR is taking a first crack at live streaming the whole service, so no pressure. I hope all the technology works together, and I invite you to tune in. We are currently streaming to the Rising Spirit Ministry site. So if you're looking for our live service on Sunday, it's 10:30. And if you Google Rising Spirit Ministry and follow those, you'll see a live stream little tab, and you click on that, it'll take you right to it. It is a live stream. So if you are a person that tunes in when you get the chance, which is awesome, and not live, you will have to search for it a little bit further to find the video recording. And it doesn't show up immediately, so you'll have to be patient with that. And you'll find it on their Rising Spirit Ministry page. When we get the chance, we'll copy it to our DKR United YouTube channel as well, so and post it here. So anyways, that's our midweek reflection for this week. Take care, everyone. It's not as cold, but it's still quite cool here in our climate, so stay warm and take care of yourself and love your neighbor, and we will talk to you next week. Bye.